You wanna blow something up? Do you love bombs? Then look no further to Wisdom's Masterclass, where we cover all things Pyromania. Before you embark on your journey of Pyromania, your stats will want to look something like this. I've kept myself at a level 120 to be at the PvP range, but any Pyromaniac who wants to blow up things can be at higher levels. Here are the talisman slots on screen, and the current spells I'm using. To finally get into the showcase, if you couldn't tell, this build heavily relies on fire damage and our magma sorceries to burn our enemies alive. Like most of my previous builds on the channel, the spells we have are mainly to create space and hit from afar whenever the enemy tries to run away. To get into the playstyle, Rykard's Rancor is going to be your main spell to open up fights with. You can either treat this build as an area of denial build or a more rushdown focused build, which is what I like about it the most. To talk about the spells, Rykard's Rancor is extremely underrated in that the explosions are delayed. You can use this to set up combos with your Ash of War and it will chunk people bad. People respect this spell way too much, and that's the shining light of it. What's nice about this spell is that even if it misses, it can still hit them on the roundabout. Be aware that the actual skull doesn't do damage, rather it's the delayed explosions after that, so just be mindful when you're casting the spell. To capitalize off of Rykard's Rancor, the Ash of War and Roiling Magma serve very good purposes in denying area by leaving around pools of lava. For example, you can notice how the brainless BHS user does not know how to react to the actual lava on the floor because he thinks that using his weapon art will save him. It has not. But this Ash of War rocks. This is your main burst and get off me option. People get caught in that combo, you're gonna hit people easily for 1,200 plus. Now, Roiling Magma is actually pretty interesting. For people who play Dark Souls 3, this is exactly like Seething Chaos, but Roiling Magma will essentially put down this ticking time bomb on the floor that will blow up after a period of time. I like to use this spell the most as a way to either replenish my FP or cast Rykard's Rancor from it. It is overall a very safe spell you can use to either set down traps on the field, create space for yourself, but because of how niche this spell is, I feel like a lot of people just respect it too much, and you can get a lot done with this one spell. Now to tell you about my favorite and most middling spell of this build, we have Magma Shot. I'm not going to beat around this bush. This spell is terrible. Not only does it do mediocre damage, but you have to free aim it, so you need to do a lot more than the opponent has to do in order to get your damage. The spell will leave a very small pool of lava on the floor, so you can use that to your advantage to create space, but overall this spell will be hitting for around 500 to 550 damage, which is decent, but the fact that you have to free aim it makes this spell have a higher skill gap than most spells, but when you do free aim it, it feels great. Now I know what you're saying. Wisdom, why are we using these garbage spells in PvP? I need to have my heavy thrusting sword. Now slow down, Pyromaniac in training. This build works for the sole fact that no one is going to expect you to actually wake up and be like, yeah, I'm going to use Magma Shot today. Like, who says that? But that's why it's good. The obscure spells that actually do enough damage to be decent, combined with the versatility of this build, I'd say this is actually one of the most fun builds that I've had on the channel, and I would heavily recommend that you guys at least give it a shot. Now that I've taught you everything about Pyromania, you can commit arson in Elden Ring. See you guys later. Be good. Love and light.
Hey man, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my boy.